Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another video. Recently I did a video of the Shadow Nerf to Lilith, and if you guys remember correctly, that Shadow Nerf not only came as a Shadow Nerf, but as a bug at the same time. Now, there's another champion that had a Shadow Nerf that I don't really think it wasn't mentioned anywhere. I will go back into the patch notes, like I'll pause in the middle of the video and check it out and confirm it to you guys. But there was a feature that that Nyx had that was actually pretty interesting, and it was considered like a high skill, you know, not ceiling, but like it was a combo that required skill, timing, and even have the proper cooldowns together with the ultimate charge and so on, which it allowed you to save yourself from certain ultimates. Now, Drugos is not the only one you could survive to. You could survive to a Sky Bomb, a Bomb King ultimate, and many others. What this would do essentially is you would use a Royal Presence, this ability here, which if you remember correctly, when you take damage, it will transform your blue HP into a rainbow HP that starts just going down, right? So it's essentially slowing down the damage you're taking, allowing you to stay alive for maybe like an extra second or so, right? So you're probably thinking, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. But the thing that she could do is that if she uses her ultimate immediately after, she would essentially survive. So what I'm gonna do here is I want to ask Beam here to shoot me with his fire spit and then a bunch of shots so I can show you. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go. More shots, go. Fire spit and everything. There you go. And then if I ult, that entire HP bar comes back to blue. So this was the tech that Nyx had, where if Drugos ulted me, and I'd use this at the exact same time, my entire blue HP bar would turn into the rainbow HP bar, and then I could use my ultimate and essentially survive. I could survive to a Drugos ult. Now I know what you guys are thinking, oh, but that's BS. It's not. First of all, Nyx was developed to be a point tank, which means that an ability like this, which would require both a cooldown and also the ultimate to survive, would be fantastic. Second of all, we even have champions like Fernando that could affect the entire team and just deny it altogether. And then there's one more thing that I need to talk about, which I will do a video about it, but Drugos ultimate is not an execution. Drugos ultimate is 100% max damage, max HP as damage. So essentially his ult is damage, right? While the other champions do the same thing. For example, Lex, you're probably thinking that's an execution. No. He essentially locks in targets. If they're low enough, it will deal whatever remaining HP they have as damage. That's what they are. They will, however, ignore DRs. So those are what I like to call basic executions, okay? But those also can get countered by a Fernando ultimate, correct? We're all on the same page on that. For example, if you use Evora's ultimate, it will be stopped by Fernando's ultimate, both on Fernando and even the other people. If you're thinking on Fernando, if she locks on Fernando, you can't survive. You can if you get resilience because you'll get out of the stun and then you can ult immediately and survive. And the same thing will happen here with other people that get affected by that ultimate. Now, there's only 2 ultimates in the entire game that will entirely ignore all of these rules. It has nothing to do with DR, but instead of that, it will kill you so bad that not even Fernando can save you from, or can you be resurrected from, which is Yagarath and Moji. Because essentially, those are the true executions of the game, the only true 2 executions of the game that will essentially eat the body of the victim and not allow for any sort of resurrections or saving from Fernando's ultimates, etc. So those are true executions. Anything else that does damage that will ignore DR will be normal executions, and then you got ultimates that just will do a flat damage, like for example, Janus ult. But why am I explaining all of this to you guys? Because of Nyx. Nyx's Royal Presence essentially turns all the damage that she takes into this new HP bar. Drugos ultimate being 100% damage means that this would in fact be the correct way to go about it. And if you use your ultimate, you should get your HP back. So this does not work anymore. This is why I'm doing this video. This does not work anymore. In fact, I will try to stop the recording as we speak and show you a clip of the last Nyx video that I published where I specifically did this play and survived a Drogo's ultimate. And after that, I'll come back to here, which I should do the cut right now. It's now or never, Drogos.
You can't resist me.
Let's go! What a play! What a play! I told you I was gonna do it. Perfect. Okay, and now after that clip, I'm going back here, and I'm gonna show you that Beam will indeed use his ultimate on my Royal Presence, and I will just die. The HP won't go down slowly. The HP won't even give me time to take that little split second to use my ultimate. It just won't do anything. Beam, go ahead. And as you can see, it instantly kills you. So, I'm gonna be straight up honest. I understand how some people could be upset about this. I understand how some people who might main Drogos and other damage champions, or maybe like play Street Justice Street Justice Maeve, and then use the ultimate of Vora as well. Or, for example, the Drogos ultimate, or BK ultimate, Sky ultimate, all of that. Get wrecked. So, as I was saying, I can understand how people get upset, but listen, this is a tech. It was a logical tech, and this is not, I'm not sponsoring anything to Logitech, if I'm making myself understand. This was a logical thing to happen. Her Royal Presence actually allows for damage to be mitigated and then still be delivered, but slowly. This was meant to be. Her ultimate allows her to have that HP back instantly. This was always meant to be, and it should remain. If any dev is watching this, for the love of God, please give this back to Nyx. Okay, I know that there will be people who will disagree with me, but this is the logical way to go about it. New players will be confused when they get to see a champion that does damage as his ultimate and essentially ignores all laws of everything else that it's embedded into this game, all other things like Street Justices and Fernando's ultimates and so on, because Nyx has a specific rule just for herself. It does not make any sense. Okay, if you use Royal Presence and you get ulted by Moji or Yagarath, you are not CC immune, and therefore, yes, you should be killed by it because they're eating your body. Okay, but if you're taking damage as an ultimate, which is what Drogos, Bomb King, Sky, Vora, Lex, they all do, this is how it should go. You should take that damage and immediately use your ultimate to get that HP back. Okay, I don't care if any Drogo's main pro player comes out and says, no, it shouldn't be like that. It is logical to be like that. Just because you don't want to see it work like that, it does not mean that the game should be changed because of you and you alone. Okay, this game should be balanced based on the entire player base. Alright, should be based on both new players, old players, pro players, and anything else. It doesn't matter if you main a specific champion and that specific champion is taking damage to it, not damage, sorry, it's being countered by something specifically. Here's a perfect little example. Let me go back here into the menu. If you guys remember, Lilith, oh, I cannot get out of this. So the bug came over to live servers, cool. I'm just gonna try to log out, that doesn't work either. Let's just close the game and reopen it. So, while we're logging back in, let me give you a perfect example. There's a thing that happened a while ago. A champion that got introduced into Paladins called Lilith. Lilith had a particularity just for her, which was knockback on her main weapon. Now, if you are only started playing now the game, you will know that that knockback does not exist anymore. If you are an old player, you will remember that this knockback was there. And knockback has a weird interaction with players in motion in the middle of the air. Sometimes it will make them fall straight away. Sometimes it will make them even go faster and further than normal, right? There's even specific little, text that you can use. Like, for example, a dashing Koga with his skewer, if he is not being crippled, and he just does it in a 45-degree angle, dashes and gets crippled in the middle, it will slingshot you across the map. So there's stuff that here that it's like weird text, but that can be used for crazy good plays, right? And that is all very awesome. But Lilith had her knockback stripped away from her. And because why? Because Drogoz would fall down if he was just flying. I'm sorry to say that I disagree with this being done. I think that it should have remained. Maybe not to the max knockback that it was doing, but I think it should have still do knockback and pull down Drogoz. Because let's be honest here, most of the counters to Drogoz are hit scans. Oh, there's already a lot of counters to Drogoz. I mean, that was so much to deal with. Now another character can just toss you down. Listen, Drogoz can fly, that's true. But that's not the main point of Drogoz. Vora can vine, but it doesn't mean that she should be in the air either all the time. Willow and Furia have wings, and yet they don't fly all the time. They fly momentarily, and so should Drogoz. Drogoz should have a moment where he can fly, thrust up into the sky, and do a couple of plays from the sky, but never infinitely fly. Wormjet's Drogoz, for me, is an absolute meme talent, and it should not exist. But obviously, I'm not gonna be fighting over with every person who likes to use Wormjet's Drogoz. But the thing is, most of the people who were complaining about this were people who, guess what? They were playing Wormjet's Drogoz, using the roof text to stay in the air, roof abusing and so on, and also stay in the air infinitely with Wormjet Drogoz and some good loadouts. And as soon as they got shot once, they would have to redo everything because they would fall. And if they were playing on maps like Abyss, they would fall off the map. That is so bad. I am so sorry that the only champion that can infinitely fly actually has something that can stop him from doing so, instead of just being plain damage. Also, I remind you that the weapon of Lilith is absolute ass. Not only is it slow, it doesn't do enough damage to be considered a good weapon based on that entire delay and slow projectile speed that it has. It should do way more damage, but obviously, because she does a lot of damage with the swarm, that is okay as it is, okay? I am okay with it being like this, okay? That's absolutely fine. But to removing the knockback from her weapon just because it counters Drogoz and Drogoz only, I am so sorry that one champion has a particular feature that would allow her to counter directly another champion. For the second time, I am seeing here another champion that has a thing that would allow them to counter specific champions, but in this case, Drogoz. And for the second time, that is being removed off the game to just make these people happy. I am so sorry, but this is not how you balance things. This shouldn't have happened with Lilith, and it shouldn't have happened with Drogoz. Bring back, not the Drogoz, the Nyx, bring back, please, for the love of God, the tech of using the Royal Presence, Royal's Essence, or whatever the name is, and then using the ultimate. It is a tech. It is considered a tech. If you leave the Vine tag for Grover in the game, which, by the way, doesn't even feel right, considering the fact that you can go across the map with one Vine, right? It doesn't feel right that exists, and you leave that in the game, but you take the other one out. I am aware that it's hard to fix the Vine tech because it essentially is a trick to trick the server, and therefore it is very hard to fix. But the Nyx tech actually took skill, timing, and resources. And now all of that is being taken away because why? Because Drogo mains cry. That's unfortunate. With that all said, that is pretty much it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you agree with me, then comment down below. If you don't, I also want to hear your opinions, obviously. Just because I don't agree with you does not mean that I'm still, not up to listen to your side of things. But if you want to know my side of things, you've already watched the video, you know now what my side of things is, and I can still have a proper debate with you on the comment section down below. It's absolutely fine. Just, keep it respectful. I'll keep respectful, and the same thing I would expect from you. So, thank you so much for watching. If any dev is watching this, please, for the love of God, bring back the tech on Nyx. I am hoping this is actually a bug and not intentional, because if it is intentional, then I'm sorry to say that it should not have happened. It should not. It was a bad decision. Thank you so much. That'll be it for the video. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.